Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. And as we draw slowly to the conclusion of the worst period in the entire near 60-year history of Doctor Who, we look at who may or may not be the next Doctor. Chibnall and Whittaker have eviscerated that show. They have removed everything that was good, everything that was wholesome, everything that was entertaining, replaced it with a series of lectures on what awful people we are. They've destroyed the canon, destroyed the fandom, destroyed the ratings. They've rewritten the history in an attempt to make it more of what Chibnall wants, which is a ghost of a shell of its former self. And all this because he, back in 1988, had the shit ripped out of him on screen, with one character that was based as a super fan, and it was based on Chris Chibnall as a boy, because he was an odious toad back then, and complained about how the series had changed, how the programme had become a ghost of its former self. And so later on in that series, they created a character that was in all ways him, and made him out to be a soy, soppy, useless twonk. And he's never forgiven them for that. So it's been his life's mission to utterly destroy the show. And as far as I'm concerned, he has. I stopped watching it 3 years ago. I gave Jodie a chance. I watched the first few episodes. Just when she decided that, as the Doctor, her best decision was to let the spiders die of starvation slowly over a period of time, I thought, this isn't Doctor Who. And so I stopped watching. And I refused to watch or review or do anything until she was gone. We have one more episode to go, and I'm not watching that one either. And then the saviour, hopefully, Russell T Davies, will return. The problem is, we don't know if he's the Russell T Davies who left the show, or if he's a new, woker, horrible Russell T Davies. Will he return the show to its former glory, or will he continue the trials and trails of the destruction that Chinballs has done? Because Chinballs has not only destroyed the show, he salted the earth so deeply it may be impossible to bring it back. But if he is to save it, Russell T Davies needs to move away from the series of lectures and to provide entertainment. And a good Doctor who's not filled with identity politics. There's been a lot of speculation as to the Doctors, but hopefully soon we shall find out who it is, and we shall know in an instant whether Davies has saved the show or condemned it to its final death. Let's have a look at this article. So this is in Screen Rant. The next Doctor Who actor announcing very, very soon, BBC reveals. And it has to be a good one, or the show is finished. A new article that gives exclusive details about the upcoming Doctor Who special hints that the next Doctor will be revealed sooner rather than later. Yeah, because if they're going to save the show, if they're going to keep it in any way in the public minds, they've got to get a good actor, and they've got to excite the public imagination. Because otherwise, the public are just going to go, oh God, not more of the same. It's going to be 2 years, maybe even 3 years, before the next full series is up and running. And by which time, people will have moved on. Because people do. And nobody will give a shit. I already don't give a shit. To me, the show is dead. It died the moment she and Chibnall took over. But we'll read the article. A BBC News article about Jodie Whittaker's final episode, thank God, of Doctor Who has hinted that the next actor to take on the iconic sci-fi role could be revealed sooner than expected. It was announced last year that both Whittaker and the current Doctor Who showrunner Chris Chibnall would be exiting the series after 3 specials airing in 2022 to mark the BBC centenary. Thank God they're going. The second of these specials, Legend of the Sea Devils, aired on Easter Sunday. And I bet it was awful. It saw the 13th Doctor, anxious about her time coming to an end. Oh, we're anxious too, but we just can't wait. As it was cryptically hinted at by time itself at the end of Doctor Who Flux. Oh, what a load of old shite it is. Legend of the Sea Devils ended with a teaser trailer for Whittaker's final episode, which is expected to air this October. The trailer gives a glimpse at the return of two of the Doctor's most formidable enemies, the Daleks and the Cybermen. I'm going to do an aside. For ages now, when there's only been they can't even call it the Christmas special, the festive special, it's always been Daleks. And the reason is that the BBC have a contract with the estate of Terry Nation. And it says that you can continue to use Daleks on the condition that you use Daleks in at least one story every year. The trouble is, when that lazy cow said she was only going to do a few episodes because obviously she doesn't have the ability to do the 14 episodes that all the men before were doing each season. She was doing 8 because she's lazy. And then, but she needs a lot of time in between series because she's lazy and hasn't got the talent to carry it, and so needs to practice a lot more. So obviously they weren't doing a full series every year. And so, some years there was only going to be one episode, which would be the New Year's Day episode. And so it had to be Daleks, because otherwise they lose the rights to the Daleks and they'd have to renegotiate, and it would cost them a lot more money. And that's why every year the festive special was a Dalek, because the lazy cow forced their hands and they had to make a Dalek story. And that's why you're getting a Dalek story for this one as well. Anyway, moving on. So as I say, the trailer gives a glimpse of the return of two of the Doctor's most formidable enemies, the Daleks and the Cybermen, now united under the leadership of the Master. It is also revealed that Doctor Who companions Ace, Sophie Aldred, and Tegan, Jeanette Fielding, and this piece cannot actually spell Tegan because there's no first A, it's Tegan, not Teagan, but we'll forgive them. It was nearly 40 years ago when she was a companion. Will be returning to the series to give Whittaker a special send-off. Oh, the only send-off I want to see her do is off a plank. An article from the BBC that gives an exclusive first look at the upcoming Doctor Who Centenary special has also hinted that the highly anticipated casting announcement for the 14th Doctor is on the horizon. And it's got to be someone good. Although the article doesn't reveal who's in the running for the role or exactly when the news will break, it states that Whittaker's replacement as a Doctor is expected to be revealed in the coming weeks. If it's a woman, the show's dead. If it's gender neutral or non-binary or someone on the alphabet or look, it's one of the special people, the show's dead. And that's it. People have had enough. The tide is turning. We've already seen how destructive identity politics is in every single franchise. And Chinballs has proved that it's destructive in this franchise. But we will move on. This indicates that the casting choice for the next Doctor has finally been made, or at least the casting process is in its final stages, and will definitely be revealed in advance of the 13th regeneration scene. When that happens in October, not soon enough. Russell T Davies, who was the original instigator of Doctor Who's revival and its showrunner from 2005 to 9, will be taking up the reins again after Whittaker regenerates. It's funny, isn't it? Oh, we get a female Doctor, and the only way to save the show is to get a man back. His first episode back will be the eagerly awaited 60th anniversary special in November 2023. Davies previously revealed that auditions for the 14th Doctor had started back in December. The decision of who to cast is now more monumental than ever, as the future of Doctor Who hangs in the balance because of the way that Chibnall and Whittaker have deliberately destroyed it. Revealing the next Doctor is always a life-changing moment for that particular actor, as fans start to speculate on what their take on the role will be. This BBC article implies that it will only be weeks, not months, before fans learn who the new Doctor will be, thankfully giving both the chosen actor and the Doctor Who fandom plenty of time to prepare before the centenary special airs. Online speculation about the 14th Doctor's casting will likely reach a fever pitch over the next few weeks as this announcement nears. And with the new Doctor Who trailer promising an action-packed finale for the Chibnall era, all fans can do now is slowly build up the hype, or be completely bored by it and just can't wait for this shit to end. And that's where I am. And I know that there'll be some identity politic, wokery, folkery, going, oh, you're awful, oh, terrible, you, look at the terrible things you say, I don't give a shit. I don't care. I don't care. I've watched this show since 1972. Every episode since 1972. And I've loved it. And even through the bad times, I've loved it. I've stuck with it. If you look over my shoulder, you can't really see it in this shot, but when I get back up onto the full shot, you will see I've got the DVD of every single episode. Except for the Whittaker era, because they're dead to me. I know my Who. I know my Who lore. I know what is good Who and what is bad Who and what is not Who. And she is not Who. Chibnall is not Who. What they've created is a cancer. And it needs to be excised from the body. And Russell T Davies is the only man who can do that. And let's hope he can. And the 60th is coming. And it gives us a chance to do some special things. And I think, and it's only my view, I don't know if it'll happen. I think they have an opportunity, and it's possibly the last opportunity, given his very much advancing years, is that they get back all the extant living Doctors. We get Tom, Peter, Colin for sure. Sylvester would definitely do it. Get the classics certainly back. And get all the living Doctors back, except her. We don't have her. She cannot come back. So my take on saving the show is simple. You use a bit of clever script writing and a bit of technical jiggery-pokery. You go back to Capaldi, to his regeneration scene. You do the orange glow, golden glow. You fade in the new face of the new Doctor. It comes back. He's there. He's the new Doctor. Straight from Capaldi into the new Doctor. He sort of looks up and goes, ooh, that was awful. Just for a moment there, I thought I'd regenerated into a woman and almost felt like I'd lived an entire life. It was horrible. Thank God that's not real. And moves off. And in one fell swoop, you've negated all the canon breaking and utter shite that happened for the last 4 years. You've erased Whittaker as a Doctor, and therefore nothing she did counts, and she's gone. And all that destructive rubbish that she's done no longer counts. It's erased. She then can't go and get fat on people's money at conventions because she was never the Doctor. It was all imagination. She was never the Doctor. And you move on. If you've got the right actor, you just move straight bang on. You've got the original timeline. You've got the original lore and canon. You can build on that and save the show. And I think that's the only way to do it. Anyway, I shall round this off. I shall come up and we shall finish the video. Yeah, so I'm back up now. So as you see here, let me get my pointy finger there, and there. They are the complete collection of Doctor Who on DVD. Every cover signed by a star of the show or a technical person, director, writer, whatever. Took years and years of collecting. I know my show. I know my Who. I don't often do videos on Who because, as I say, deep in my heart, I think it's died. But it can be saved. Russell T Davies can save it. But he can only save it if he utterly destroys what Whittaker and Chinballs have done. And we've got to hope that he doesn't continue the trend of identity politics and posturing and posing and virtue signalling. Because if he does, well, I'm already out, so I can't leave, but a lot more people will leave. A lot of people are leaving all the time. The show is dying. You just have to look at the constant downward trend of fandom. Anyway, I shall leave it there. If you like what I say and do on this channel, please hit the subscribe button. Ring the bell for notifications on future output. Leave a like, leave a comment, and until next time, stay safe, stay well, and goodbye.